Right. So our next topic is the much anticipated bout between AJ. I can never say Anthony. Oh wait, I just did.
You did it, and you weren't thinking about it.
Versus Francis Ngannou, and that is happening on Friday night. So first of all, are you excited for the fight?
I'm reasonably excited. Yeah, yeah. What time is it occurring? Probably too late for me. I have a bedtime.
About 10 to 11 at night in the UK.
Okay, that's not too late. They've been later.
That's perfect time to be fair. You can watch that and go to bed.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Pretty cool.
So yeah, that is on. The undercard will start at 4 p.m. Initially, what are your thoughts on it? Do you see it swaying either way, or is it a little bit too close to call?
I reckon AJ's gonna win. I think Ngannou's a really good fighter, and definitely probably deserves a win after the Fury fight. But I don't think he's going to beat AJ. What do you think, Toby?
See, I'm the other way, mate. Personally, I reckon Ngannou's going to get this. Now, I've seen lots of people talk about this, and the majority of people seem to think that this is an absolute nightmare of a matchup for Francis Ngannou. They're saying that yes, he got the hand speed and the 1-2s and the combinations and stuff from Tyson, but even then he didn't seem very phased when that was happening. But when he was getting hit with the 1-2, it is just facts that a 1-2 from AJ is harder than a 1-2 from Fury. So that's something that that Ngannou will have to deal with. But mate, he went 10 rounds with Tyson in his first ever bout and knocked him down, and in my eyes, should have won on the scorecards.
Yeah, I mean, it just goes back to that sort of thing where these experienced, and AJ is an experienced boxer, professional boxer. Like, his last few fights haven't been sort of journeyman or absolute layups. He's fought quite a few technical boxers now. And the thing is, they're good at winning on points. They're good at just not getting knocked out. And Ngannou's kind of strength is that he's unknown and he punches really hard. So he's like ideal for knocking people out. But these sort of guys.
Hang on, I've got to step in there because everyone's. I've heard lots of people say this. They go, "Oh, Ngannou's not." No, hang on. He was the UFC heavyweight champion. Did not lose. The contract ran out. They tried to get him out. He defended his championship with 2 blown knees. And you say about him being known for his knockout power. He just out wrestled his last opponent in UFC.
Yeah, but you can't wrestle in the boxing ring.
That's no, but what I'm saying is he's very versatile, and people think that he's just got that one hit, but he's also got an absolute granite of a chin.
He does. That's fair.
And something I will say to you is, Ruiz dropped AJ 5 times, I believe. It was four or 5 times when AJ beat Klitschko. Yes, he did beat Klitschko, but what happened before he beat him? He got dropped. He fought Usyk for 24 rounds, did not knock Usyk down once. His last fight, it did look like it was he was doing good, and the other team's corner saved the guy from being on the highlight reel.
Yeah,
but that guy is not Ngannou. And Ngannou, this would be the first time, like AJ, because he sort of had a bit of like a criminal background and stuff, and he said that boxing sort of saved him, and he is like a bit like he is a tough geezer. Is when I think he knows that he can usually outman a lot of people. You can't outman Francis Ngannou. At the press conference today, Francis Ngannou was there, obviously was there talking with AJ, and Tyson Fury was in the crowd. I believe Tyson Fury sort of piped up a little bit, and Ngannou went, "Mate, like you need, like, do you remember I wiped the ring with your ass, and it was your blood that was on the canvas, not mine." And he was like, and that was in boxing, and it was his first ever one. from somebody who stood in the ring about this time last year for the first time, I can say confidently the second time I'll get in, there's so many things that I'm not wondering about now.
Yeah.
Because you've gone and done it, and you go, oh, okay, I've done it. And I think another thing for Francis is he went the 10 rounds. He didn't get like a lucky knockout on Fury, and then everyone's a bit like got a misconception of his boxing abilities. Nah, he stood there, took the hits, and didn't really flinch.
No, but then Fury only threw just over 200 punches over 10 rounds, which is not that many punches. If you look at some of his other fights before Ngannou.
But then you do not throw punches that you know are not going to land or going to hurt. And if Ngannou stood there, like it was every time Fury would sort of get one, then he would go to move in, Ngannou would go, right, 1-for-1, let's go. And it just wasn't working out. Now we've all seen the beautiful knockdown that Ngannou had on Fury, but then Fury, like AJ, has been dropped quite a few times.
Exactly, and if Ngannou could follow him to the floor, then yeah, Ngannou could probably destroy him. But it's boxing, and it doesn't actually matter how many times you get knocked down, as long as you win on points and you don't get TKO'd or KO'd, I guess, if you get knocked down.
If you get knocked down, getting knocked down, like, hey, Fury got knocked down once, won the fight, and there's loads of people, including myself, that said Ngannou should have won, not just because of the knockdown, but that is a big thing in the fight. Now, if AJ knocks down Ngannou 3 times and Ngannou wins, I'd say that was a robbery, and vice versa.
No, but
you know what
points.
I mean? So knockdowns are important, but I do get what you mean, that you can be knocked down 3 times and then come back and knock them out. So
yeah, or you could just win on points because it turns out you landed more body shots, and you know you landed 70 more body shots than them over the course of the fight.
But then it goes on how you it goes on like how you score it as well, because say if they're in there and somebody throws 10 shots, 10 punches, but they don't drop them, and then the other person only lands 5, but everyone they threw only threw 5, but everyone they threw landed, and they managed to knock them down. I would say that that's better.
Yeah, but they do have a scoring method, and even though, yeah, from like a point of view, maybe that is better on like the street or something, ultimately in the boxing ring, if someone landed 200 punches on you, but you managed to knock them down, but you only threw 5 punches, if you didn't knock them out, it's very unlikely it's going to be a decision in your favor. Like, it just isn't. There's too many. Like, the judges are using a system. They're not just like guessing and saying, "Oh, I think he dominated the ring." There's like, and that's what I'm saying. AJ's better at playing that than Ngannou. Fury was better at playing that than Ngannou. Ngannou would have,
But shouldn't, if there was going to be a nightmare person, wouldn't it have been Tyson Fury? Like, I just think that people are sleeping. Now, see, the storyline for both of these, I do love, and I do got to say this, even though I'm arguing for Francis Ngannou to win this, I have got to say, I do love AJ, and I love it if AJ won, because he can then turn around to Fury and go, look, you got dropped by him, and then I knocked him out.
Yeah.
That would be a huge statement, and I think everyone wants to watch Fury versus AJ. Like, I just don't understand why they've not been able to make it happen. And hats off to Francis Ngannou, who's been in boxing less than a year and fights them both.
Yeah. No, to be fair to Ngannou, he is...
And he's got an MMA bout after this as well. He's got booked his first bout against I think it's like a 6'7" guy, like a Russian guy in the PSL.
God. Jeez. I wanted to quickly cover Fury though, because although yes, Fury is a nightmare to fight, and he is a very tough dude and a very talented boxer, the fact is with Fury, he's not always the best at getting into shape. And if anyone was going to underestimate Ngannou, it was going to be Fury. He's so full of himself. Like, he probably thinks, oh, Ngannou, he's coming into this, he thinks he's all hard, and is more willing to be more showboaty about it. And now AJ's seen him fight. AJ's seen Ngannou fight. He's got video of it.
That is a massive thing that I will have to give to you. He has now got a full boxing bout footage against somebody where he goes, it's not like it's against a low-level guy and he's like, well, maybe he won't try that with me. But also, what if, like, because Ngannou in the fight, he fights orthodox, but he was popping southpaw, then back to orthodox. What if he comes out a completely different fighter? Because I know it's different, but hear me out. In the UFC, he was always known as this big puncher.
Yeah.
Then he lost to Stipe, got out wrestled, and then he had to fight Stipe again. And then I watched that with you actually.
Yeah.
And then he out wrestled. Stipe went to wrestle him, and then Francis basically got on top of him, and we were all like, "What the hell? He's learned how to wrestle." What if that's the same boxing, bro? Like, so right, so going a little bit more on predictions because it does seem that we are a little bit split. Are you going? So I'm assuming you're going with an AJ win. Would that be via decision?
It would be via decision,
knockout?
yeah. I reckon by split decision, although that's the most boring prediction. So what I'm going to do, that's my actual one, but for the pod, my podcast prediction will be AJ TKO round 9.
Okay, I could see that happening. I'm going to go rounds as I was 6 or 7. Round 7 knockout for Ngannou.
Okay, I've written those down.
This Francis Ngannou story is incredible. He tried to get over the border like 7 times, and then he had to go live in France as like homeless and stuff. And like his story is incredible, and he's got literally the heart of a lion, and also he's so calmly spoken. Like, you know,
He's a cool dude.
He's the type of person that, like, obviously I know with all these fighters, you know, if they told you to leave a bar, you probably would. But he could like just really calmly, just gently, just sort of like tap you on the shoulder, just be there like, you're going home. You're like, I'm going home. That's just it. End of the night. Bye, guys.
To be fair, AJ Fury doing that as well.
But with Fury, he'd probably be like, you little dickhead, and I'd probably try and give it a little bit back, you know, like, and he's like carrying me out. I'd be like trying to lip off, but I think Ngannou's just so like, he'd be like, it's over. I'm like, okay. Okay, I'm like, can you carry me home?
That's funny. No, totally. So we've got our predictions.
So the prediction is 7th round knockout. And I do think he's going to knock AJ down before as well.
Okay, fair enough.
But corrupt boxing mind of Toby goes, same thing that happened last time that I actually put a bet on was Ngannou to get the knockdown, but not to win.
Yeah, I think Ngannou will get knocked down.
If Ngannou knocks down AJ and AJ wins on points, and it's the same thing as with Fury, even though AJ and Fury get the win, I think Ngannou sort of looks at them and goes, the boxing judges helped you, because you say there's a set thing of how many punches, but there's not in the rules 5 punches is worth more than a knockdown.
No, you're right. You are right.
So, and it's to do with the person's mind, and there's been absolute robberies. Like, one comes to mind that I really, really didn't like was KSI versus Tommy Fury. Now, I think that should have been a draw or a win for KSI, and it was a win for Tommy. But then that was close, and because there was no knockdown, it was harder to be able to tell. But I do think that this is going to be a very interesting fight. There is a potential we could have a bit of a snore fest, but let's hope not. But yeah, come on, Ngannou.
Come on, AJ, I guess. I do want Ngannou. I wouldn't be unhappy if Ngannou won. You are right.
This is one of the fights where either one win, but I will be a little bit gutted, because when I cheer for someone, I like to go through the motions with them.
Yeah, no, fair.